Unfortunately, you know what? Regardless of what generation you are, debt is a way of life here in America. Debt is no friend of ours. I always say that debt is your money going backwards. It's the worst four-letter word on the planet, depending on the debt that you have. You can throw out some four-letter words, Dave. We'll bleep it out.
Oh,
Just
God.
kidding. Don't do it. But that's the worst, thing to have, especially when you want to succeed in life.
Yeah.
So basically, here's the debt difference between Millennials and Gen Z. Let's see what we got going on. So according to the new State of Credit 2021 report from Experian, one of three major credit reporting bureaus, you got Experian, you got Equifax, and Trans. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
TransUnion?
like
Here's some numbers that they've given us, okay? So they're basically saying, take a look at these numbers. Get a load of these. So they start with average credit card debt. Average credit card debt, Gen Z, which are basically, they don't start it until you're age 18, even though.
Mr. Perfect Gen Z.
18 to 24, the average credit card debt, $2,300. Okay? They're in college. They just got out of college, $2,300. On the other hand, millennials,
oh boy,
age 25 to 40, me being the oldest millennial, 40.
You being the youngest.
40, sorry, that's right, the youngest millennial. I apologize. No, the oldest millennial.
You're the oldest. I'm the youngest.
Yeah, correct. Millennials, on the other hand, $4,500.
Oh my God.
Okay, 45. That's average credit card. Now, put it in perspective. The U.S. average, when
Yeah.
silent generation, the old school traditionalists, you got the baby boomers, you got Gen Xers.
Sure.
Average credit card debt, closer to $5,500. Average. Okay. So the takeaway is Gen Z, trends are not on your side. The older you get, the more you run up credit card debt. So take notice. And don't go down that path. If you're averaging $2,300, millennials are $4,500, and then as you get into the all across the board, U.S. average closer to $5,500, $6,000 almost. Save that money. Don't put it on the credit card. Okay, average mortgage debt. Right now, think about it. Before I get into these numbers, Gen Z, if you're 18 to 24, let's say 18 to 25, you're not exactly buying houses yet. I would suspect, but some people are. Gen Z average mortgage debt, $192,000 for Gen Z, $192,000, whereas millennials average mortgage debt, $255,000. Okay, about $250,000, whereas you have the U.S. average, $229,000. So millennials are above the U.S. average. Millennials, for whatever reason, they want to buy houses. We always hear reports saying millennials are struggling to buy houses.
Yeah.
But I don't know, since the pandemic, there's people have been on a buying spree to buy houses.
Yeah, I can tell you why right now. Being
Tell me
a millennial.
why.
I mean, it's that pressure again from your parents that came from that. Hey, buy a house. We bought property.
Ooh.
So I mean, I'm being told right now, like, hey, buy property. Buy.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't this thing about to crash?
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Good point, David.
It's definitely
I agree.
that.
I would like to know from our people in the comment section, are people pressuring you to buy real estate, to buy a house, to buy a mortgage,
like older
take on
family
more debt?
members. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's transition to that. We'll talk about that.
Transition.
The average non-mortgage debt. So this is all your debt, just not including the house. Gen Z, $12,500. Okay? We love debt in America, baby. So even our youngsters are starting off just out of high school, just out of college, $12,500.
Jeez.
Millennials, $28,000. Okay? So you're more than double, whereas the U.S. average is closer to $25,000. So basically, millennials are taking on debt. To your point,
Yeah.
I believe that millennials have sort of been indoctrinated to get the house, the car,
Yep.
the student
College.
loans, the college, all that. They've indoctrinated that lifestyle by their boomer parents.
Yeah.
Well, you got to go to a good school. You got to get a car.
Yeah.
You gotta save up for a down payment on a mortgage. You gotta buy a house. You got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Gen Z, they've kind of seen the writing on the wall, right? They've seen it and they're like, I don't know if I need to go to college. I've seen this student loan
like
thing
you said,
play
you have the
out.
Gary
It gets
V's.
really ugly, right? I don't know if I need a car. I can just Uber,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if I need to get a mortgage. I can just rent a place with my homies and get a roommate.
Exactly.
So Gen Z, I think, for my Gen Z friends out there, learn, if they say if you don't learn from history, you're destined to repeat it.
Yeah.
Look at millennials drowning in debt, mortgage debt, credit card debt, student loans, consumer debt. Gen Z, if you're paying attention, because not everyone does, most people are most people. We all know that. That's why the average is the average. Gen Z, the smart ones, are going to take a look and say, I don't know. I don't know if I need to go to college. I can make a lot of money online. I don't know if I need a car. I can Uber. I don't know if I need to buy a house. Just going to get a roommate. times have changed. Let me change with the times.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like we talked about a couple episodes ago. These new dogs can't be doing old tricks. And hopefully the Gen Z is recognizing that.
Yeah. And even, it's like, who are the parents of Gen Z? Burned millennials, like older millennials that have been through that. And they're like,
Gen Xers or millennials. Exactly.
Yeah, Gen Xers, but also, I mean, they're millennial parents. And then they're teaching like, hey, dude, I got into that. Don't, maybe. So,
yeah,
things to consider.
Anyway, so that is the difference between millennials and Gen Z when it comes to debt. Now, since we're on the topic of debt, you know, as we say, worst 4-letter word. Nobody likes debt. DEBT. That's the worst 4-letter word in the world. Now, there's people that are going to be out there like, what do you mean? There's good debt, bro. There's good debt, bro. I get it. If you can get a mortgage rate that's, you know, very low, or take a business loan that's very low, I get it. But inherently, debt is bad. Debt is your money going backwards. Now, obviously, if you can get cheap rates and invest or buy something that appreciates, cool. Good luck. But overall, debt is negative. Okay, let's just
100%.
establish that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there's gonna be people out there that say, I agree with you, Saz. Debt's the worst. Get out of debt. Be debt free, which I am completely debt free. I owe nobody nothing. It's a great feeling. There's gonna be people on the other side of the coin. A lot of real estate type people. They're gonna say, well, look, you need to kind of take on some debt if you're gonna buy some property, invest, play the appreciation game, do all that. I get it. There's both sides of the coin.
Talk is money. All we talk is money.
If you enjoyed that short clip from the Sozcast, click here to watch another, click here to watch the full episode, or just stay broke.